You wake up. Not gently. There's no bird song, no golden light sliding through linen curtains. Your phone is already glowing on the nightstand. You reach for it the way a drowning person reaches for a rope. You open your banking app. And for a half second before the numbers load, your chest tightens. That's the tax. Not from the IRS. Not from your landlord. That tiny hit of cortisol is the tax you pay just for being alive in the American economy. But here's the thing, the number on that screen changes everything. It changes what you eat, where you sleep, whether you see a doctor when something hurts. So today we're going to walk through every wealth level in America, from the poverty line to the top 1%, and what your life actually looks like at each one. The federal poverty line in 2025 is $15,650 for a single person. Let that land. $15,650. That's $1,304 a month before taxes. That's less than most people's rent. At this level, your life is not measured in goals. It's measured in decisions that no one should have to make. Your kid has a fever. Do you call the doctor or do you wait and hope it breaks by morning? Because an urgent care visit could cost you $250 you simply do not have. In 2025, the average family health insurance premium hit $27,000 a year. That's almost double your entire income. You're not lazy, you're working. Probably 2 jobs. But the federal minimum wage is still $7.25 an hour, and full-time at that rate now pays less than the poverty threshold. You eat what you can afford, which means the dollar menu, not the salad bar. You're not choosing junk food. Poverty is choosing it for you. The mental load is the real killer here. Every purchase is mental math. Every unexpected bill is a crisis. Your brain never leaves survival mode, and that rewires you. Studies show that financial scarcity alone can reduce cognitive function by the equivalent of losing 13 IQ points. Poverty doesn't just take your money, it takes your mind. Now your household earns around $83,700 a year. That's the 2024 US median. On paper, that sounds fine, comfortable even. So why does it still feel like you're drowning in 3 feet of water? Because the villain at this level has a name, and its name is housing. The national average rent is hovering around $1,740 a month. In cities like New York or San Francisco, a one-bedroom can swallow $3,000 to $4,000 before you even turn on the lights. That's not a home, that's a subscription you can't cancel. You buy the store brand coffee, not the Starbucks. You go to Walmart, not Whole Foods. You tell yourself, next year will be ahead. But next year, your car needs brakes. Your kid needs braces. Your student loan servicer sends another letter. The average borrower still owes over $28,000. And suddenly, ahead feels like a place that only exists on a spreadsheet you made at 1 a.m. This is the most dangerous level in America. Not because it's the poorest, but because it's the most deceptive. You earn enough to feel like you should be okay. The gap between what you earn and what okay actually costs, that gap is where resentment grows. That's where people stop believing the system works. Something shifts when your household crosses roughly $150,000. You can feel it in your chest. The knot loosens just slightly. For the first time, you're not just surviving, you're strategizing. You're maxing out your 401k, $23,500 in 2025. You've opened a Roth IRA. You might even have a brokerage account on the side. You're not rich, but you have a plan. And for the first time, the plan isn't just don't go broke. You buy the good coffee now. You shop at Trader Joe's without checking every price tag. Date night happens without a calculator. Your kids might be in a decent school district, which really means you're paying the good school tax through your mortgage. But you're paying it, and that feels like progress. But here's the quiet part. Nobody says out loud, you're one catastrophe away from level 2. One layoff, one diagnosis, one divorce. The traction zone isn't a fortress, or it's a ledge, and the wind is always blowing. Now, this is the level nobody talks about. Your household earns $250,000 or more. Top 10% of American households. You should be set. But here's the lie. Earning more doesn't mean keeping more. Not if you let the villain in. And the villain's name is lifestyle creep. The BMW lease is $900 a month. Private school for 2 kids runs $60,000 a year. The mortgage on the house in the right neighborhood is $5,500. You vacation in Cabo instead of Myrtle Beach. Your wardrobe is Nordstrom, not Target. And your savings account? Zero. Sometimes negative. This is the family that looks rich on Instagram but panics when the dishwasher breaks. This is the surgeon who earns $400,000 and has less net worth than a plumber who invested $500 a month for 20 years. Income is vanity. Net worth is sanity. And at this level, vanity is winning. Somewhere north of $350,000 in household income, and more importantly, a net worth that works while you sleep, you cross a line most people never even see. You stop trading time for money. You start trading money for time. Your rental properties send you $4,000 a month. Your index funds generated $80,000 in dividends last year. Your business runs whether you're there or not. You've stopped asking, can I afford this? And started asking, is this worth my time? That's the real luxury. Not the car, not the house. The option to say no. You fly business class not to impress anyone, but because you value the sleep before a morning meeting. You tip 30% because you remember when 15 felt like a stretch. You don't check your bank account when you wake up anymore. You check your calendar. Because now time is the only scarce resource. The top 1% in 2024 starts at roughly $660,000 in household income. But at this altitude, income almost doesn't matter. You're not playing the money game anymore, you're playing the legacy game. Suddenly, you have an estate attorney, a tax strategist, and a family trust named after your grandmother. Your children's children will benefit from decisions you're making right now. You're funding 5-9 education plans for grandchildren who haven't been born yet. You're donating to a donor-advised fund, not just for the tax deduction, but because you've realized something. At a certain point, more money doesn't buy more happiness. It buys more responsibility. And the quiet truth at this level? The anxiety doesn't disappear, it just changes form. Instead of worrying about paying rent, you worry about whether your kids will become the kind of people who understand what all of this means. Money solved the money problems, but it created a whole new set of problems that money can't solve. So here's what no one tells you about wealth in America. The gap between each level is not just income, it's habits, it's systems. It's what you automate and what you tolerate. The person at $50,000 who invests $200 a month into an index fund for 25 years will mathematically end up wealthier than the surgeon at $400,000 who spends every dollar on a lifestyle designed to look successful. The question was never, how much do you make? The question is, what do you do with the gap between what you earn and what you spend? That gap is your entire financial future. Guard it, feed it, and never ever let lifestyle creep steal it from you. If this changed how you think about money, hit subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.